Hey everybody, it is Prince's Friend, and this is going to be the final review for 2017, so I'm very excited about this one. Before we get to the review, don't forget that if you like cool shirts, we have a store going right now. You can get awesome designs like this that I designed myself. Prince Friends Bleed Purple. I love this shirt. It's interesting to not end it on a Prince review, but because today's review is for Michael Jackson's Bad. It was released on August 31st of 1987. 1987, of course, being the same year that Prince released Sign of the Times. So, just for reference. So this was Michael Jackson's 7th studio album, but his 3rd full solo album under Epic. And Michael Jackson's focus was to sell more and more records. Off the Wall sold around 20 million copies. Thriller sold about 65 million copies, which is amazing and still one of the best-selling albums of all time. The goal for Bad was 100 million. Strangely enough, it only sold around 35 million, which of course is still amazing, but it was disappointing for what Michael Jackson had hoped for. 5 singles off of Bad went to number 1, which is great, and once again, record-breaking. The album also peaked at number 1 in 13 countries. It stayed at number 1 for 6 weeks here in the US. It had 6 Grammy nominations, and it won actually for 2 of them, the Best Engineered Recording, Non-Classical, and Best Music Video short form for Leave Me Alone, and we'll talk about Leave Me Alone at the end of the album. So this was really interesting in terms of a Prince fan, because apparently Michael Jackson wrote a reported 60 different songs for the new album. He ended up recording 30 of them and wanted it all to be like a huge 3-disc set. But of course, Quincy Jones had suggested that the album be cut down to a 10-track single LP. When the album was released on CD, it did get that 11th song, Leave Me Alone, that was also on the cassette version after 2001. But I really find that interesting because Prince was also trying to release a 3-disc Sign of the Times out at the time, and he was able to settle them at 2 discs. So I find that super interesting. But honestly, this was the first Michael Jackson album that I really liked. Off the Wall and Thriller were both good, but they just lacked something. And Michael Jackson, I think, added that something on Bad. And that something was his own production, his own songwriting ability, his flavor. And the majority of the songs at this point had been written by other people, but Michael grabbed creative control on Bad, and I think he really made something special. So let's get into those tracks, and let's see what's so amazing about them. So now, funny enough, Bad was the 2nd single off of Bad, which I was very surprised to find out. Jackson actually said that the song Bad was influenced by a real-life story that he read about a young man who was going to school to try and get out of poverty and get out of the ghetto, and then he was killed when he went back home. It's really sad, but you can tell why Michael kind of has like an attitude on this song. It also gave Michael Jackson a little bit of an edge, not too much, because I think leather and spikes only take you so far. It did kind of give him a different image in a lot of the public's face. They still loved him, he was still Michael Jackson, but, you know, it's great. But also, this song had a lot of new sounds that he was using because he was doing his own, beatboxing thing that he likes to do, but also it shared some similarities to his former albums in some of the sounds and stuff too, so it really kind of hits both marks. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Prince was supposed to do this song with Michael Jackson, and of course, famously, Prince says, the first line of the song is, "Your butt is mine, and you're not going to sing that to me, and I'm not going to sing that to you, so I guess we're just at an odds here." And it is what it is. It could have been groundbreaking and history-making, but as it stands, it still was a really awesome song that got famously parodied by Weird Al Yankovic with Fat. So all of that said, I think the music on this is really good. It's got an amazing bass line that everybody knows. It's a great start to the album because it lays down the foundation of, I think, what Michael was really feeling at the time. It was one of his number ones. He just came swinging out the gate on this one. So, The Way You Make Me Feel was the third single off of Bad and another number one on several charts. We go from kind of an aggressive, come at me bro kind of song, we go to a pretty aggressive love song. And I say that because, I don't know, for me it's impossible to divorce the song from the video. So let's try for a moment. It's a song about seeing a woman you like and telling her that you'd like to take her out. I really like the music, as its use of horns is really good. The beat makes for a great mid-tempo love song. It's innocent enough on the album. Then you get to the video, where Michael Jackson is basically harassing this woman that wants nothing to do with him. She tells him repeatedly that she's not interested, she pushes him away, she tries to find doors to run through. She does not want him, and he persists. At one point, she runs to another group of girls as like backup, and what does he do? He gets all the rest of the guys, which of course they outnumber the girls, and it doesn't diffuse the situation. Instead, Michael and the guys go into a dark alley and do like a super aggressive sexual dance that, I don't know, is supposed to seduce her. In the end, she succumbs, but I was never convinced that she wanted him, like, from the beginning, and no dance is going to change that. Up to the very end, she was still trying to run from him. So, I don't know. All that said, it's a magnificent song. I love the song. I question the video itself because it sets, I think, a bad example for male behavior, and I've always been kind of put off by the video. Okay, so this is one of my favorites off of Bad. There really isn't any poetry or metaphor to Speed Demon. It's literally a song about liking to drive fast, and it was reported that Michael Jackson wrote this because he was late to record the album because he was driving too fast and got a ticket. I wonder if the cop who wrote him that ticket realizes that he made history with that. I wonder. I really love the beat though. It's got a little bit even more edge than I think Bad does, and it's pretty funky too. Speed Demon was the promotional song for both the album and the Moonwalker movie, which I hope to review in the new year. It didn't chart because it wasn't an official single, but I bet it would have been high on the charts if it was. The only thing that could have made this better is if there were any kind of depth to the song itself, but even with that, I think it's a damn ballad. The first three tracks were pretty aggressive, so this is a welcome retreat from that feeling. So first off, it's really pretty, and the Swahili spoken by the woman, I mean, her voice is really attractive. I would have liked to have seen if she could actually sing, because it's a really pretty voice. The words that she sang in the song too translate to, I love you too, I want you to, my love, which I never knew before this review, so that's good to know. It was the 9th single off of Bad and was originally written for the Jackson's Victory album. MJ took it and reworked it for Bad, and it wasn't one of his number ones, but it had some respectable numbers in most countries. The biggest one was obviously Liberia, and I like this song, one, because yes, it's a great song. Two, I love a song about the beauty of black women and empowering them, and I think Michael Jackson's influence and reach was far enough that the women of Liberia said it directly empowered them and had a real effect in their country. So I'm hoping that, you know, women of color here in the States also felt that. Baby, first track on the album that was not written by Michael Jackson, and to me it's really obvious that it wasn't, because it doesn't feel like the other songs that we've heard so far. Bad was supposed to have a ton of guest vocalists on it though, but Stevie Wonder and one other performer, we'll get to her later, were the only ones to answer the call, and I think that's better, because I think it gave Michael more of a chance to have a bigger spotlight in the end. The song itself is about two men recounting how they are both interested in the same woman, but she doesn't actually want either of them romantically. So for me, it's kind of just okay. Regardless of how good the vocals of Stevie and Michael are, the song just doesn't jive with the rest of the album for me.
We're sending out a major love, and this is our message to you. The planets are lining up, we're bringing brighter days. They're on the line, waiting for you. Can you see? You're just another.
So another part of me was the sixth single off of Bad, but I remember it mostly from Captain EO, which was Michael Jackson's 3D movie at Epcot Disney. The song kind of takes us back to what Bad is, right? It's a funky journey through what Michael Jackson was feeling at the time. It's a song about humanity being unified and how we have to let love take over so that we're all one. Sentiments I love, because Prince preached about the same stuff. Quincy Jones almost cut this song from the album, but I'm so glad that he was swayed against this choice, because I think the song pretty much speaks for itself. It's very danceable, it's got a good message, it's connected to another multimedia project, which probably helped sales quite a bit. I think they would have been stupid to have left it off, but I guess that explains why Quincy Jones wasn't Michael's producer after this album. So it was also a #1 hit on the Black Singles, and number 11 on the Hot 100, so both great numbers.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself, then make a change.
So this is the other song on the album that was not written by Michael Jackson, though it doesn't really stick out as much as Just Good Friends to me. This was written by Glenn Ballard and Sita Garrett, and was about making a change in yourself to help other people in need, the homeless, starving children, etc. I really dig this song, as most of us do, because it's an amazing song, but what I really like is the choir in the back. It enhances the song, kind of brings it to a whole other level than I think Michael would have been able to achieve with just his voice alone. And then I found out that the whine-ins are in the chorus, which is amazing. Gospel is not something that you think of when you think of Michael Jackson, but I think this is the shining example of his ability to kind of pull off that style. It's a classic song, still has relevance today, and it was also a #1. Great song.
I just can't stop loving you. I just can't stop loving you. And if I stop, then tell me just what will I do? 'Cause I just can't stop loving you.
So if you were to tell me I Just Can't Stop Loving You was the first single off of Bad, not Bad, then I'd call you a liar. But yeah, that's actually what it was. It did get him a #1, so I guess no harm, no foul. But this would not have been the song that would have gotten me to buy the album. It was originally written for Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston to sing, and then when she said no, it was maybe going to be Barbra Streisand, and then she said no too. But I'm honestly glad he didn't have to compete with either of those really big heavy hitters. They have amazing voices. I think the harmonizing back and forth between Michael Jackson and Sita Garrett was actually really good. Their voices really complement each other, and I love the story that Sita Garrett tells, because she says that while she was recording her parts, Michael kept throwing popcorn in her face. So great song, wonderful execution. So Dirty Diana was the 5th single and the 5th #1 off of the album, and honestly was the song that did get me to buy Bad. It was badass, aggressive, had some rock elements in there. I was really feeling rock at the time. I really liked the direction of this song, and I was hoping that more of the album would be like this, but we had to wait for Dangerous for a little bit more of this, but we'll talk about that later. Affectionately referred to as Billie Jean 2 by some fans, the song itself is about a groupie who tries to insert herself into his life and actually gets really stalkery near the end. Funny story is that Michael Jackson actually took Dirty Diana off his set when he was going to go play in Wembley during the Bad tour because he didn't want to piss off Princess Diana. But then he heard that it was actually her favorite song, so he worked it back in. This is probably my second favorite song off of Bad, though, after Speed Demon, because both songs are really different than what you'd expect from Michael Jackson in terms of the sound and the tone and whatnot. Seventh single from Bad, Smooth Criminal actually hit only number 7, which is really surprising. I would have pegged it for number 1 easy. The story is basically Michael Jackson is an investigator and he's trying to figure out who murdered Annie. And it's a little simplistic and straightforward, but I think that was maybe the point. It's super danceable. It comes with one of Michael's most well-known choreographies with the whole leaning thing. And this song was heavily featured in Moonwalker. And it's one that Michael played at almost every concert that he ever did for the rest of his career. It's definitely, I've never heard him not do it live. So I think that's pretty funny. For those who maybe don't know enough about the chorus itself, there was a purpose there. The chorus itself with the Annie, are you okay? This is actually a phrase that's used in CPR training, and Michael Jackson did one of those. The doll that you use when you're learning CPR is actually named Annie. So part of the course that trainees are taught to say, Annie, are you okay? To the dummy in order to check if the patient is conscious and responsive. So it actually kind of changes the narrative of the song because you think that Annie might have been murdered, but also this actually kind of changes it because maybe Michael Jackson as the investigator found Annie and tried to resuscitate her after she was just attacked. Maybe she wasn't murdered. The mystery continues.
Cause there's a time when you're right and you know you must fight. Who's laughing, baby? Don't you know? And it's the choice that we make, and this choice you will take. Who's laughing, baby? So just leave me alone.
Leave Me Alone was the 8th single, but only appeared on CD and cassette versions, as I was talking about earlier, so vinyl lovers were really sad. This was another number 1 hit for MJ, as it was an anthem to tell all the paparazzi and the haters and all the people speaking rumors about him to just leave him alone, stop making up all the stories. This wouldn't be the last song like this with this subject matter, but it was the first, and I think that makes it stand out as a big deal in my book. I really love the video too, which is kind of a dreamland collage of all of the rumors that people were spreading about him. It has the elephant bones, it's got his hyperbolic chamber in it, it's got his obsession with Elizabeth Taylor. All those things were highlighted until, he kind of stood up at the end triumphant and being like, I will win over you guys. And I think while Smooth Criminal was a good enough ending for the album, I think Leave It Alone just kind of ups the awesomeness of Bad to another level. So I think it's a better finisher and leaves you wanting more, like in a good way. So I've said before that I really started to like MJ on Bad. And the reason for this is obvious. On Bad, Michael started to stretch his own creative muscles. He took control of the creative direction to making an amazing album that spoke to me personally, but to even more people. When we hit the songs not written by MJ on the album, it's also obvious and kind of hurt the flow of the album in my opinion. But I think on the whole, even that is excusable because the music and the vocals just blow you away. Bad, amazing album, gets 5 out of 5 from Michael Jackson. But what did you guys think? I would love to hear your thoughts on Bad. Definitely hit me up in the comments. Also, don't forget to check us out on social media with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon at patreon.com/princessfriend. We just got a new patron this week, which is amazing. Don't forget to check out the store to check out all our cool designs, and may you live to see the dawn.